What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another week of solo raids. I had a couple things I wanted to say that I noticed from the comments and things that I was told on my Discord from last week. A couple people mentioned that they wanted proof that I had gotten in the top 200, and have absolutely no problem showing that proof. I've got my profile here, got my avatars, and we've got our there it is, unlocked by placing top 200 at the end of a solo raid. And it really wasn't that hard. I think I was like ranked maybe like 105 or 110, right in that area, somewhere middle of the pack. I think my time was just under 30 minutes. It was like 29.8, I believe it was. It was something like that. I can't recall the number exactly, but the purpose of um, the purpose of my video is to show you guys the way you should do it and how I did it. And obviously my time isn't going to be short because I'm walking through each step specifically and looking at all the details so that you don't have to. And like I say every week, the purpose of this is for you to watch me do a portal. Do not open the portal, and then open the portal once you've seen how I did it so that you can have an idea of what you want to do. Have your game plan in order and click real fast and not have to take as much or take as little time as possible when you're doing each portal. All right, so first things first, go to your settings, turn off your raid retry so that you can shave off those extra seconds. And let's go ahead and get started with this week's solo raids. All right, we can open Portal 1. We've got a LoJack, and the decks are Moonbeam, Acid Splash, and Blazing Inferno. Blazing Inferno? Yeah, I'm going to get it right this week. Let's go ahead and go with Blazing Inferno and take down as many parts as we can. Ooh. Fast, fast, fast in the first couple Titans. You might, depending on how strong your Moonbeam is, you might be able to go a little bit faster than that with Moonbeam, but I always think it's faster with with the afflictions on the first 9 Titans. All right, Portal 2, we've got a Juck. Our decks are Grim, Haymaker, and Psychic Chain. Grim takes too long to ramp up. The tap damage will probably kill the parts pretty fast. Haymaker, it just takes too long to activate, so I'm going to go with Psychic Chain. And there's lots of targets for Psychic Chain on Juck. You can go all arms and the legs, and then just with that nice even damage, take out either the head or the torso. There we go. And on to Portal 3. 3, we've got another LoJack. Our decks are Radio, Haymaker, and Clanship Barrage. Probably Radioactive, probably be the fastest. Haymaker, like I said, takes a little too long to activate. Clanship, it might be just as fast with Clanship, but just to ramp up that damage, you're gonna have a slow start. So I'm gonna say Radioactive. I'll stick by it. I guess it is possible that you could probably go a little faster with Clanship Barrage if it's a lot higher and your Radioactive is not at a high level. But yeah, I guess it's just up to you. There we go. Portal 3 cleared. Moving on to Portal 4, we've got a Takdar. For our decks, we've got a Grim, Moonbeam, and Thriving Plague. Obviously a Thriving Plague. Thriving Plague's meta, easily the second most powerful deck right after Purifying Blast decks. And the only thing holding it back is the RNG for putting those stacks down. But with as powerful as the Thriving Plague should be in each of your individual levels, should be a quick kill of Thriving Plague. Portal 5, we got another Juck. Our decks are Grim, Haymaker, Thriving Plague, and Purifying Blast with Acid Splash. Yeah, I think Thriving Plague again. Purifying Blast RNG it's only got like a 5% chance to go off, so go with that Thriving Plague damage every time. Yep, 8 seconds. Real fast, real easy. Move on to the next portal, Portal 6. We've got another, oh, well, it's a Tarot. We got a Fusion Bomb, Swarm with, oh, that's a good one. Swarm with Body, and then Head Focus, and Thriving Plague with Inferno. Yeah, we're going with Swarm with the Inspiring Force. Love having that support. It just boosts damage so much in these early Titans. And it's guaranteed to kill that fast. Yeah. After that last stat got on, it just died so fast. Real quick and easy. Back to portals again. 7, we've got a Takdar. Our decks are Psychic Chain, Limb Focus. We've got a Victory March with Haymaker. We've got a Head Focus, and we've got Totem with Razor Wind. I think honestly, I think Totem with Razor Wind, even though you're not going to get as many fairies on Takdar, you don't really need it because the Razor Wind hits all body parts, and we're still early. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'll go with Torso Focus first. Knock it down. Yeah, see, it died before the fairy even got there. That's just how strong these decks are early, especially if you've got nice high-level cards. You just take those individual pieces down, nice and quick. Psychic Chain. The Limb deck might have taken the limbs down faster, but she would have been sitting on the torso and the head a little bit longer. All right, Portal 8, we've got a Tarot. Our decks are Victory March with Haymaker, Victory March with Razor Wind, Victory March with Head, and Decaying Strike with Whip. This is Tarot. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say this is pretty clear. Yeah, pretty clear Victory March with Razor Wind. And just to get it ramped up, just start on those weaker parts and just knock them down. Yeah, here we go, up to 7, 22, 25. Quick, 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 quick. Nice and easy. I wanted to mention, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the second your attack is submitted, and you see that screen that it says attack submitted and it asks you to continue, once you see that screen, your timer is no longer counting down, or counting up. So you don't have to, like, once you get to this back to portal screen or to that continue screen, you're fine. You're not racking up any time after that. All right, Portal 9. Last without armor, we've got LoJack, and we've got Fusion with Body Focus, we've got Torso Focus, we've got Ancestral Favor with Razor Wind, and we've got Whip with Decaying Strike. This is easy. Deck 3, Ancestral Favor with Razor Wind. It's just going to be so good because once that support gets ramped up, you're going to have nice damage against all parts with the Razor Wind. There we go. All right, so now we're on to the armor. And when you get to the armor part, you have to start really focusing on which parts you're going for. So we got a Tarot, we've got a Rancid Gas of Swarm, we've got Clanship Barrage with Razor Wind, we've got Radial with Armor Focus, we've got Torso Focus with Totem, and we've got Head Focus with Totem. Yeah, I think this is probably Rancid Gas of Swarm. Yeah, because the support is more dependable than just having the 2 attacks like with deck 2, especially Rancid Gas because it hits all parts, and we're going to want to go Cycle on Tarot, which is hit everything but the head. So we'll focus every part except for the head, taking care to make sure and get lots of damage on that torso. There we go. Yeah, nice and quick. Beautiful. All right, moving on to Portal 11. We've got another Tarot. Our decks are Fusion Bomb with Body, Ancestral Favor with Torso, Victory March with Haymaker, Armor Focus, and Decaying Strike with Whip. This is, again, clear to me. Another Ancestral Favor with Moonbeams is your best bet. Like I've said before, you've got lots of HP on Tarot's Torso, so the Moonbeam's going to be great with that. And then with Ancestral Favor's generalized burst buff, it'll do fine on the head and the leg, even though it won't do quite as much as it did on the torso. So do Torso, knock that out real quick, move up to the head, that goes down fast, and then to the leg, and you're good. 9 seconds. And you probably, if you started with the head and went down to the torso and the leg, you might be able to do it even faster because you don't have to transition all the way from the head to the leg. All right, moving on to Portal 12. We've got Sterile. Our first Sterile, we've got a Armor Focus with Swarm, no support. We've got Armor Focus with Limb. We've got Swarm with Whip. 4 is Head Focus, and 5 is Whip with Decaying Strike. Okay, so nothing good to focus the torso, which is unfortunate because torso is your biggest issue on Sterile. You know what? No, none of these decks have a support card except for the head one, and that's no good because you need that support card for that torso. So I'm going to say probably your best bet on this one is to go deck number 3, which is Swarm with Whip. Hopefully your Whip is not absolute garbage level. If your Whip is absolute garbage level, you're probably better off going with deck 1, which is the Armor Focus with Ravenous Swarm, because the Swarm will do decent damage to everything, and then you'll get that extra burst damage to the torso you can focus down. So we're going to go Whip with Swarm, and we're going to avoid the head. We're going to do a cycle pattern on Sterile, which is all limbs, no head, and torso. We're going to focus down that torso with the Whip. So we'll go ahead and get the Swarm stacks up. There we go, and we should be able to just stay on torso and just kind of spread it out a little bit. Oh man. Okay, so once the limb parts start dying, your RNG for Whip's going to go down. But no problem. We got it. Moving on to portal number 13. We've got a Mohawka. We've got Fusion Bomb with Rancid Gas. Deck 2 is Purifying Blast with Acid. Deck 3 is Victory March with Haymaker. Deck 4 is Haymaker with Totem. And Deck 5 is Head Focus with Totem. With Mohawka, it's a lot of limb damage you got to do. I definitely like the ones with supports best, but with Totem of Power, you're definitely shooting yourself in the leg, doing all those transitions. So I would say avoid 4 and 5. You're probably okay to go with 2. Fusion Bomb is no good because not only does Rancid Gas not buff your tap damage, but once you are down to only 1 or 2 parts left, Fusion Bomb is trash. So I'm going to say go with deck 2. You don't have a support card, but you have good generalized damage, and even though Purifying Blast has really low chance, it's more dependable than Fusion Bomb is. So we'll go ahead and start with these limbs. Okay, got that one. Come on, Purifying Blast. Don't hold off on me. Purifying Blast can be such a piece of... I mean, it just takes so long to get those bursts off. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, so that... I mean, it took a little longer than the other ones we've been doing so far, but, you know, it's understandable. We didn't have the support, and, of course, like I said, Purifying Blast has really low chance to activate, so I feel like that's probably still, regardless of what your card levels are, it's probably still going to be your best bet. On to Portal 14, we've got a LoJack with Fusion Body Focus. We've got Purifying Blast with Acid. We've got Ancestral Favor with Razorwind, Victory March with Haymaker, and Victory March with the Head Focus. Against LoJack, I think you're going to want to go with the support card, Ancestral Favor with Razorwind. It'll take a little while to break through that armor, but once you do break through the armor, it'll kill quick, especially with Ancestral Favor's general buff. And we want to avoid one of the limbs, one of the arm parts, because it's unnecessary damage, especially with a burst deck on LoJack. It's just taking too much time. And if you end up hitting that one part, you still got to break through that last piece of armor, and it's just going to take too long. It'll save you a good second or more breaking through that armor. There we go. All right, moving on to Portal 15, we've got a Juck. Our decks available are Limb Focus, Torso Focus with Victory March, Razorwind with Victory March, Razorwind with Victory March with Head Focus, We've got an Armor Focus, and we've got, ooh, our first 3-card deck. Nice. Swarm with Rancid Gas. This is definitely the 3-card deck because you're just even having that extra little affliction damage is going to be so much more damage than any of these other decks can offer. So we'll go ahead and go with deck 6, Rancid Gas with Swarm and Acid Splash. And for Juck, we can avoid the torso and just focus on the outer, cycling around the outer parts. Give an extra special attention to those legs and the head. Yep, there we go. Get those armor parts down, keep the damage going, and there we go. 16-second clear. All right, moving on to Portal 16. We've got a Sterile. And the decks available are a Armor Focus with Limb. Sorry, Armor and Limb Focus. We've got Purifying Blast with Body Focus. We've got Haymaker with Armor and Limb Focus. We've got a Head deck with Haymaker. We've got Victory March with Haymaker. And we've got a Limb Focus with Thriving Plague. So your one deck kill for this one. Oh man, okay, so yeah, Sterile is just a beast with that torso damage. So I'm thinking probably, yeah, I think even though you're going to have to chew through a bunch of armor, I think probably your best bet is to go with deck 2. And yeah, deck 2, focus down, only 4 parts. Head, 1 arm, 1 leg, and then the torso. Yeah, so I guess I'll start on head. Hopefully Purifying Blast doesn't take forever to go off. There we go. Onto the arms, or the single arm part, onto the single leg part, and then to the torso. Shoot through that armor, and then we've got a monstrous amount of HP, but 1 Purifying Blast is enough to take that down. Great. We can move on to Portal 17. For Portal 17, we've got a Tarot. Our available decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Rancid Gas. We've got a Body Focus Grim deck. We've got a Victory March Grim deck. We've got an Armor Focus deck. We've got a Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. And 6 is a Whip Blazing Inferno deck. I think it's pretty clear for this deck. For your one-hit kill, you're going to want to go with deck 5. Go with your cycle pattern on Tarot. Do not attack the head, just attack the limbs and the torso. And you're going to want to try and keep those limbs alive as long as possible to keep Thriving Plague's damage up as high as possible. Oh my word. They died so fast. Yeah, okay, well, no problem. 14-second clear. Yeah, once you get to these 3-card decks, especially the ones that work together so well as Rancid Gas, Thriving Plague, and Blazing Inferno, you're just going to get so much more damage than what you normally get early. Onto Portal 18, we got a Tactar. Our available decks are Fusion with Swarm, Fusion with Armor Focus and Swarm. We've got a Body Focus with Grim. We've got a Swarm with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. We've got a Totem with Torso Focus, and we've got a Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. Yeah. This one, to me, it's pretty clearly deck 4. My Blazing Inferno is not very high level, but it's still going to do, Swarm's still going to do way more damage, and the consistent damage of Blazing Inferno is going to be better than the inconsistent damage of Fusion Bomb, especially once the parts die off and Fusion Bomb is going to become basically worthless. So we're going to go with deck 4, Swarm, Rancid Gas, and Blazing Inferno. And for Tactar, you just got to take everything down. So once we get our Blazing Inferno stacks on, they will not fall off because Blazing Inferno is awesome like that. And Swarm is great against Tactar too because once the parts fall off, you don't have to worry about losing damage like you do with Thriving Plague. There we go, 20-second clear. All right, that was Portal 18. We can move on to Portal 19. We've got Juck is our Titan, and we've got Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Armor Focus. We've got a Body Focus with Grim. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. That's a great one. We've got Purifying Blast with Body Focus. We've got Victory March Grim and Victory March Haymaker. I think our best bet here is Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. And on Juck, you can just do, when you're doing that particular deck, you can just do both legs, torso, and head. Whoops, no, I don't want that one. I want this one, 3. Deck 3. Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. And we're going to take the legs down first. Want those dinky parts to die off first so that we can get as much damage with Flak as possible. Knock down all the armor, and hopefully by the time the armor's all gone, so will the legs. It looks like we missed out on that, but that's okay. It was a quick kill anyway. Okay, that was Portal 19. Now we're to Portal 20. We should start getting some info. So for our first info, we've got minus 20% all limb damage. This is a Takdar, so that sucks because you have to hit all his limbs down. Our available decks are Fusion Bomb and Swarm. We've got a Armor Focus with Limb. We've got a Body Focus with Purifying Blast. We've got Victory March with Grim. We've got Totem with Purifying Blast. We've got a Ancestral Favor with Head Focus, and we've got our Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. I think if you're going for the one deck kill, Takdar is easily one of the best Titans to use a cycle deck with, so I'm going to go with 7. I don't have to explain this again, but I will go ahead anyway for anybody who hasn't seen my channel before. I don't like Fusion Bomb early solo raids because it takes a lot longer to kill when you get real low. You could depend on Swarm for those kills, but I think you're just going to be a lot faster with the dependable damage of Blazing Inferno. So we're going to go deck 7 and knock out Takdar. We're going to try and keep those limbs alive as long as possible to maximize Thriving Plague's damage. Yeah. Oh, Blazing Inferno dropped off fast. There we go. All right, so that's pretty much it. 19-second takedown, and we're moving on. Portal 21, we have a Tarot. The info is plus 10% all support effects. That's great. We want to pay attention to those double supports like Rancid Gas and Ancestral Favor because they do get a double buff from this particular buff. So we got Fusion Bomb with Rancid Gas and Swarm. We've got Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus. We've got Haymaker with Armor Focus and Limb. We've got a Head Focus with Haymaker. 5 is Totem with Purifying Blast. 6 is Victory March with Haymaker. And 7 is Rancid Gas with Thriving Plague and Blazing Inferno. Yeah, this is a toss-up. This is really not a hard one to do. It's a good buff, and you've got a couple good decks that are going to work great here. I'd say probably our best bet is to either go with deck 2. If you're really high level and you're just wanting to clear it out as fast as possible, deck 2 is fine. Or if you're skeptical on how dependable a one deck kill is, you could try 7, which would probably be a lot more consistent damage. But for me, I'm going to go with deck 2 because I know I can power straight through that head and leg and just wipe out the torso real fast. So I'm going to go with deck 2. If you're not confident you can take it down with deck 2, go with deck 7. But I think I've got the power and the damage to take it down quickly or more quickly with deck 2. So that's what I'm going with. We'll start on torso until we get our stacks ramped up. All right, we got our stacks ramped up. Torso's gone. And we take down the head next. There we go. And then onto the leg. And that's it, 15-second clear. Yeah, once the body parts start falling off when you're using the other deck, the damage becomes less dependable and it takes a little bit longer. In my opinion, just a little bit faster with that deck, but like I said, it could be different for each one of you. All right, Portal 22, we've got a Sterile. Our info is that there is minus 20% to all leg damage, and that's fine. At the most, you only have to take out, if you use a burst focus deck, you only have to take out one leg. So what we got is Fusion Bomb Swarm. We got Grim with Swarm. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. We've got Blazing Inferno with Swarm and Rancid Gas. We've got Victory March with Clanship Barrage and Razor Wind. And we've got a Torso Focus with Totem. And we've got a Head Focus with Ancestral Favor. To me, I feel like this is probably deck 3. Will be the quickest kill. Yeah, this makes it so that we only have to take out one leg. It's not a cycle deck where you will have to take out two legs. So I'm going to go with deck 3. I might have said deck 2. I meant deck 3. I'm going to do it deck 3 and take down just 4 parts: the head, torso, one hand, and one leg. I think this is the way best to avoid the debuff as much as possible, and uh, frankly, the quickest way. Take down this head onto the torso, and then we just finish off with the nice ramped up damage of Clanship Barrage. There we go, nice tidy little 15-second clear. And we can move on to Portal 23. All right, for Portal 23, we've got another Juck. The info is plus 10% to all support effects. That's a great buff. For our decks, we've got Fusion Bomb with Swarm, we've got Decaying Strike with Swarm, we've got Purifying Blast with a Body Focus, Deck 4 is Armor with Limb Focus, Deck 5 is Head Focus with Haymaker, Deck 6 is Victory March with Grim, and Deck 7 is a Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. Okay, so against Juck, we're going to want to go with yeah, I think probably our best bet on this one is to go with deck. I think deck 1, even though Fusion Bomb's a little more difficult to stack, once you get down to those lower parts, we can depend on Swarm to take down the rest. So we'll go ahead and go with deck 1. My Decaying Strike is really low level, so if you've got a higher level Decaying Strike, you might be better off going with that one. Obviously go with the cycle pattern for Juck, which is just go around the circle. And this is where Fusion Bomb becomes worthless, which is fine because Swarm is just absolutely amazing at killing stuff, especially at this low level. All right, we can move on to Portal 24. Portal 24, we've got a Mohawka. Our info is only 80% burst chance instead of your 100%. So if we can avoid doing a burst deck, which is actually advisable in my opinion on Mohawka, cycle decks tend to be a little bit better. Deck 1, we've got Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus. Deck 2, we've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Razor Wind. Deck 3 is Victory March with Grim. Deck 4 is a Armor Focused deck. Deck 5 is a Limb Focused deck. Deck 6 is Victory March with Haymaker. And Deck 7 is a Thriving Plague, Blazing Inferno cycle deck. And that's what we're going to go with. Deck 7, we've got the double buff for Rancid Gas because it has 2 effects instead of just 1. And just try to focus down the head faster than the arm, and give the legs a little more attention than you give the arms. All right, we'll start on the head and get our stacks down. Move to the legs, get our stacks down, and then just kind of sweep over the limbs so as not to kill them too fast. Okay, so now they're getting pretty low, so we can just go ahead and kill everything. Yeah. There we go. Easy. 18-second kill. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. I think it's your best bet for a speed kill in one deck. Moving on to 25, we've got Juck. Our info is plus 25% all torso damage. So Juck is one of those titans that you can take the torso instead of the head or instead of arms or legs. The Juck's very, very flexible titan that you can focus different parts. So we want to see if we can't focus down that torso because we do get bonus damage on it. It helps speed it up a little bit. And we've got first deck's Fusion with Swarm. Second deck is Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. That's a great choice. Deck 3 is Armor Focus with Limb. Deck 4 is Totem with Purifying Blast. Deck 5 is Ancestral Favor with Head Focus. Deck 6 is a Limb Focus deck. Deck 7 is Blazing Inferno with Whip. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Deck 2, Ancestral Favor. It gets that nice juicy double buff. Oh no, we're at a different Titan. All right, we'll go ahead and go with deck 2. I think it'll be the quickest kill. Yeah, you can take down the 2 legs first so that Flak will finish him off and just focus on the head and the torso afterward. There we go. Got that leg. That leg. Move on to the head. Got the armor there. Moving on to the torso. There we go. So we'll just go ahead and finish off this guy. There it is. 18-second kill. Not bad. 18-second kill. 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 18-second ki All right, we can move on to Portal 26, and we're halfway through the portals. But the second half is obviously going to be a lot faster, sorry, a lot slower than the first half. The ramp up of the Titans and then the addition of the second um, info tends to make things go a little bit slower. But like I said before, if you pay attention to what I'm doing before you open your portal, you can know exactly what you're going to do before you go into it. So for this is Portal 26, we've got a Mohaka. Our info is minus 10% to all raid damage, so that's a really crappy info. Our decks are Rancid Gas of Swarm and Maelstrom. That's pretty good. Ancestral Favor with Clanship Barrage and Flak. Not bad. And we've got a Rancid Gas with Thriving Plague and Swarm. That's pretty good too. We got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Razor Wind. For deck 5, we've got Purifying Blast with Body Focus. Deck 6, we've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage with Fragmentize. And 7, we've got Ancestral Favor with the Head Focus. Mohaka is definitely a Psycho Titan. So I think probably one of your best bet's going to be either 1, 3, or I believe it was yeah, 1 or 3. I'm gonna say 1 or 3. And since you don't have to worry about Thriving Plague's damage dropping off once the parts start dying, I think deck 1 is your best bet. Go with Rancid Gas, Swarm, and Maelstrom. Once that Maelstrom stack is on there, it tends to stick around a lot better than Thriving Plague does, so you'll be doing that extra bonus damage that Maelstrom gives you. And yeah, Thriving Plague doesn't depend on having more parts left over too, so it's a great choice. Here we go. Just focus down these juicy parts, and there we go. 23-second kill. Not too bad. I suppose with Thriving Plague's increased damage, it's probably possible to go ahead and take it down a little faster with Thriving Plague, but on the off chance that you accidentally kill the two hands, or the hands and shoulders before you kill the other parts, the damage drop off is so dramatic that I think you end up just being faster with the consistent damage of the Maelstrom deck. Okay, moving on to Portal 27. We've got a Tarot. Our info is +1 Affliction max stacks. Nothing too special about that. We've got Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus for our first deck. Second deck is Purifying Blast and Body Focus. We've got Ancestral Favor with Head Focus. We've got Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. We've got Victory March with Haymaker. Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. And Whip with Blazing Inferno in Armor Focus. Yeah, this, to me, we're getting high enough that I think deck 1's not going to be as fast as it was before. So I think maybe deck 6 is our best bet here. If your Ancestral Favor and Moonbeam are higher than mine, you might want to go ahead and go for this deck again. But at this point, I think I'm probably going to be faster with deck 6. So that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go Cycle Pattern on Tarot, which is to avoid the head and hit everything else. I'm going to focus down that torso more than the other parts. I don't know how that head got hit, but it shouldn't matter too much. There we go. Come on. Oh, worst case scenario. That's all right. All right, 21-second kill. Not bad. Moving on. Deck Portal 28 now. We've got a Sterile. Our info is -50% all body damage, which means armor will go down at a normal pace, but the body will take longer, which really sucks on Sterile because Sterile has such a beefy torso after the armor is gone. Our available decks are Body Focus with Grim, Ancestral Favor with Clanship Barrage and Flak. 3 is Ancestral Favor with a Torso Focus, which might be actually pretty good in this case. 4, we've got Rancid Gas with Swarm. 5, we've got Head Focus with Haymaker. 6, we've got Totem with Purifying Blast. And 7, we've got Victory March with Haymaker. I think I want to go for Ancestral Favor with Clanship Barrage and Flak, just because they're higher level for me. I've got 33 on my Ancestral Favor, 35 on my Clanship Barrage. The other bet would be to go Totem, but I think it takes longer just because of the RNG of the fairies. So we're going to go deck 2, Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. We'll start off taking down the hand and the leg so that Flak will finish them off. There we go. And moving on to the head and onto the torso. Back to the head. And by this point, Clanship Barrage is nice and ramped up, so everything should go down nice and quick. I mean, with the exception of the absolutely beefy torso. There we go, 21-second takedown. Okay, moving on to Portal 29. We've got a tarot. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance. Our decks available are Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Moonbeam. That is a great deck for this particular Titan and this particular buff. Deck 2 is Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus, also not bad. Deck 3 is an Armor Focus with Limb. Deck 4 is Victory March with Grim. Deck 5 is Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. Deck 6 is Driving Plague with a Limb Focus. And deck 7 is Whip with Blazing Inferno. I'm going to go with deck 1. This is a fantastic deck for this particular buff and this particular Titan, where you just focus down either the head. Yeah, we'll start with the head. Get Clanship Barrage ramped up, then move to the torso, and the leg will die instantly by the time you get to it. There we go. Head's gone. Move to torso. Torso should die even faster because Moonbeam's damage, and then the leg should die just about as fast. Great. 17-second takedown. Okay, we can move on to Portal 30. For Portal 30, we have another tarot. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance and 15% decrease to affliction damage. So we'll take that into note. Tarot is a great Titan to focus with burst because you can just take down 3 parts. Our first deck is Fusion Bomb with Swarm. Second deck is Armor Focus with Limb. 3 is Head Focus with Haymaker. 4 is Victory March with Grim. 5 is a Total Armor Focus. 6 is a Head Focus with Ancestral Favor. And 7 is Whip with Blazing Inferno. Now this is one that I don't like to look at. They don't give you anything fantastic to work with, but it's still doable. It's definitely doable with one deck. I think probably your best bet to one deck this Titan is going to be one of the general decks, not one of the limb or body focus decks. For example, 7 is armor focus. You're going to lose a lot of damage once you move off of the armor. 6 probably be a little bit better of a choice, but with the head focus, the buff from Ancestral Favor is just not enough to account for 2 whole body parts that you're not getting these 2 cards maximum effect on. 5, obviously, just armor, no good there. Victory March, no good there because you can't start out with no support effect this high up. Deck 3, Head Focus is same deal as Deck 6 with even less damage because Haymaker's not it's not a generalized support, it's a generalized burst, so you're going to have even less damage. I think deck 1's your best bet. So we're going to go with deck 1, Fusion Bomb with Swarm, and we're going to do the cycle pattern on Tarot, which is to skip the head and focus the limbs and the torso. There you go. Just keep it moving. We get that generalized support buff from Rancid Gas, so we're not losing a ton of damage when we move from armor to there we go. We're just going to sit on the leg and let that damage build up on the... That'll take it down. Oh no, don't tell me I missed this. Yeah, I missed this. Wow. All right, well, let's take stock here and see what we could have done differently. All right, so the buff was to burst chance. So I think probably since that didn't work for me, if I had a chance to go back and try again, I would go with deck 6 just to see if it would work. I wish I could. Yeah, maybe I will try. Yeah, I'm going to do deck 6. Obviously, it's not going to make any difference for you. I still think probably your best bet to one-shot this Titan is with deck 1. Although if you have a high enough damage Ancestral Favor and you're confident um, in just doing the 3 parts, you might be able to do it with 6. Yeah, that's with the burst chance increase, that helps too. I don't know. Yeah, the head dies so fast there, but the problem is the torso. I don't really know what to say there. I still stand by. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and say that uh, the head with Ancestral Favor deck's probably your best bet now that I think about it more, because you do get a generalized buff from Ancestral Favor, and even though you won't get the head buff from Skull Bash, um, you still have, the head's a really big part of that. And this card on this deck, Fusion Bomb becomes pretty much worthless once uh, once you've got 4 parts down, because it's so hard to cycle through 3 parts with just this deck, and then you're depending on just your swarm to do the damage. Yeah, I think probably your best bet to take this Titan down is going to be the Ancestral Favor with the Skull Bash focus. So that's my mistake, but you can learn from it. All right, moving on to Portal 31. We've got LoJack. Our info is 40% increase in affliction chance and -1 affliction max stacks. Let's see what we got available here. We've got Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Armor Focus. We've got Body Focus with Grim. We've got Armor Focus with the Limb. We've got Armor Focus with Limb again and Haymaker. We've got a Head Focus with Haymaker. We've got Victory March with Grim, Victory March with Razorwind and Clanship Barrage, and a Limb Focus. Oh man, okay, so they do not give us very many good options here. The affliction chance we need to pay attention to, because I feel like it's great for Swarm, but Swarm loses all of its damage once the armor is gone. This is going to be a 2-deck Titan for me, but I think if you want to go for the 1-hit kill, the 1-deck kill, I think probably your best bet is going to be to go with deck 7. And the way you're going to do that is take down with wow. See, that might not even work, because you don't have a buff. You don't have Victor March's buff until after the first part dies, and not only do you not have that buff, but you also don't have Razorwind's buff against that part. So I don't think you can take it down with 7, even if you focus the weakest parts down first and depend on the ramp up of Victor March and Clanship Barrage. I just don't think it's possible. So for the 2-deck takedown, I'm going to go with deck 8 and focus down all of the limbs, and then I will switch over to 7 and finish off the torso and the head. So deck 8, take down all these limbs. I think we can get them all with our, yeah, I'm pretty sure that my limb deck, or my limb cards are high enough to get these parts down. I might even get a solid little chunk of damage on either the head or the torso. I guess we can go ahead. Yeah. 8 seconds to hit that head armor down. It's going to be garbage damage. Maybe even switch over and get that Decaying Strike on a second part. Yeah. 1.29 million damage with that deck, and switching over, we can use a Victory March deck, and we already have the 6-part buff for Victory March, which will make it already strong with the Clanship Barrage, and just give it, I don't know, 5-10 seconds, and Clanship Barrage will be ramped up enough to just finish it off real quick. And of course, once armor drops, your Razorwind will be doing max damage. There we go. And there we go. All right, I believe that was our first 2-deck takedown. I don't remember if I had another one that I didn't take down in 2 decks. Oh yeah, I did, the one that I screwed up on. Yeah. All right, on to 32. For 32, we've got a Mohaka. Our info is 25% increase to all leg damage and -15% all burst damage. Okay, so I love the increase to leg damage, and the burst damage is really not a big deal for Mohaka because he's more of a Psycho deck Titan anyway. So deck 1, we've got leg focus with armor. Deck 2, we've got Head Focus with Haymaker. Deck 3, we've got a full armor deck. Deck 4, we've got Totem with Torso Focus. Deck 5, we've got Ancestral Favor with Head Focus. Deck 6, we've got Victory March with Haymaker. 7 is, yes, this is our savior deck right here. Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. And 8 is the Whip Blazing Inferno deck. We're definitely going with deck 7 with the Affliction, I'm sorry, with the burst damage decrease. I think our choice is going to be Affliction Cycle anyway, and we get bonus damage on the legs. We won't even have to focus them down heavily as opposed to the arms. This is just our best bet here. Deck 7. We're going to start on the head, get those stacks on there, and then just nice and quick cycle over the limbs, and just let Blazing Inferno do its thing, i.e. get us that maximum Thriving Plague damage on the head, and now we can just finish it off. There we go. Wow, that was close. My heart started beating there at the end. I was like, do I lose this? No, we got it. We got it. Portal 32 cleared, no problem. On to Portal 33, we've got Takdar. Our info is plus 20% all body damage, so once armor goes down, body will die fast, and minus 20% all head damage. Not too bad. We've only got one part to worry about with the debuff. So our decks available for deck 1, we've got Fusion Bomb and Swarm. For deck 2, we've got Fusion Bomb with Armor Focus and Swarm. For deck 3, we've got Body Focus with Grim. Deck 4, we've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship, Barrage, and Flak. It's a great option. Deck 5, we've got Head Focus with Haymaker. Deck 6, we've got Full Armor Focus. Deck 7, we've got a Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. And Deck 8, we've got Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. Yeah, so the two best decks are Deck 4 and Deck 8. I feel like 8 edges it out just a bit because I tend to like Cycle decks better on Takdar because you just have to take the whole thing down, and the more transitions you have to make with Ancestral Favor, Clanship, Barrage, the less effective it gets because you lose those taps between transitions, and it takes a while for Clanship, Barrage to start focusing the new part, and sometimes you get those Clanship Barrages that hit the dead part and it's wasted damage. So we go deck 8 and try and get the torso and head focus down real good, especially since the head's got that debuff on it. There we go. Nice. That's a nice burn there. We got of course, falls off as soon as I say we got a nice burn going. All right, we're doing good damage, but we're going to have to start focusing down parts so that we have as few parts left over as possible when we finish. Oh, look at that. Less than a second left over, we got the kill. So if your card levels are anywhere close to mine and your raid levels anywhere close to mine, you should be able to get that. Yeah, so pay attention to my card levels here. You can definitely get that kill if you're similar level. Raid level 276, card level Thriving Plague's 28, Rancid Gas 26. So if you're similar level, you should be able to get that. If you're a lot lower, maybe 2 levels lower on each card, or maybe quite a bit lower on your raid level, like maybe 250 or lower, you might want to try to 2-deck that. But you should be able to 1-deck it if you're similar to my level. It was very close though, very close. All right, Portal 34, we've got a Juck. Our info is 20% increased all body damage and minus 5% all support effects, and we will have to pay attention to those double support cards like Rancid Gas and Ancestral Favor. Wait, what was it? Body damage? Yeah, 20% body damage. Okay, so we've got a Juck. Our decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Rancid Gas, Body Focus with Grim. We've got Armor Focus with Limb. We've got Limb Focus with Armor again. We've got a Head Focus with Haymaker. We've got Victory March with Grim, Victory March with Haymaker, and a Limb Focus with Thriving Plague. Okay, I think this might be a 2-decker. You probably, if you have a high enough level Rancid Gas and Swarm, you could take it down with deck 1, but you got to remember, Rancid Gas is getting that double debuff from the debuff, which is not great. for me, I know for a fact this is going to be a two-decker. So I'm gonna plan on taking down um, all the armor and hopefully the limbs with deck 8. I think I should be able to get all the limbs down with deck 8 and maybe even get a good chip off of the head armor. But then I'll come back with either Victory March Grim or Victory March Haymaker to take down the head, or I could just go for the straight out head deck. So anyway, we'll go with deck 8 first. Focus down those limbs. There we go. Yeah. Whoops. I hit the torso. That's not fantastic, but I guess it's not bad because with Juck you can hit the torso and avoid the head, and you're fine. And get a stack of Thriving Plague up there. Come on, Thriving Plague. There we go. And putting that little stack on the head gives you just a smidge more damage on your Thriving Plague on the torso. It's not like you're trying to kill the head, but you definitely want to get that Thriving Plague stack on there so you get that bonus damage. All right, so now we just got to focus down the torso. So I would recommend either deck 7 with the Victory March Haymaker or deck 6 with the Victory March Grim. I don't think there was a torso deck other than that. Oh, but there is a deck 2, and you don't have to worry about the ramp up of Haymaker and Grim because you've got Razorwind. So I'm going to go with deck 2. Deck 2 is the body focus with Grim. I think probably the torso dies before Grim even gets completely ramped up because of Razorwind. Yeah, it got to 6 stacks, but it died before it got to 7. So, yeah. And Grim really doesn't do its max damage until it gets the max stack because that's when it gets its ×3 bonus. All right, so we 2-decked that one. Portal 34 cleared. Whoops. I clicked the wrong one. Back up. Back to portals, we got 35. It is a Takdar. The info is 25% increase to all burst chance and minus 5% to all support effects. So it's Takdar. Our deck's available as Fusion Bomb and Swarm. We've got Limb Focus with Armor. We've got Victory March with Clanship Barrage and Razorwind. We've got Purifying Blast and Totem. We've got Ancestral Favor with the Head Focus. We've got Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. We've got Victory March with Haymaker, and we've got Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. All right, man, we got Burst Chance increase and Support Effect decrease. So this might be a 2-decker for me. I can see some of you guys who are more powerful than me taking this down with deck 8 because of its dependability, even though you get the double debuff on the support effect. But if it's not deck 8, then it's going to have to be... It's not going to be deck 4. That's just way too many transitions for Totem, and you just lose so much damage on the transition, and it takes so long for the fairies to start flying to the right part. So I don't see it happening with 4. I suppose deck 1 is possible, but at the end you're depending on purely on your Swarm's damage to take down the last couple parts. So I'm going to say your best bet to 1-deck this Titan is with 8. I don't think I will be, so I'll focus down to make sure the limbs all die, and then I'll come back with deck 4 to take down to finish off the head and the torso. So starting with deck 8, the only true objective we have here with this deck is to completely finish off those limbs. That is just imperative to getting this. You don't want to have to add another transition in when you're already dealing with the fairies. Not the fairies. We can get that head armor. Good. Maybe we can get the torso armor too. Come on, baby. Got it. Nice. 2.5 mil, 2.53 mil. Nice. And we can switch over to our fairy Purifying Blast deck. Where is it? There we go. Deck 4. And just finish it off. Aim at the torso first. And get that fairy. Couple bursts. If it will burst, switch to head. Oh man, it wasn't quite high enough. But that's alright. These 2 fairies come in to save the day. There we go. That's Portal 35 cleared out. And now we can move on to 36. We've got Mohaka. Our info is 10% increase to all support effects and minus 15% affliction damage. Our available decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm. We've got Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus. We've got Limb and Armor Focus. We've got Head with Haymaker. Head Focus with Haymaker. And then we've got Victory March with Grim. We've got Victory March with Clanship Barrage and Razorwind. We've got True Armor Focus. And we've got Whip with Blazing Inferno. All right, so Psycho Deck is preferable for Mohaka. We do have the support effect, which is fantastic. The minus 15% affliction damage is not terrible, even though it is a Psycho Deck debuff. Oh no, we didn't get. Okay, so this is probably going to be a 2-decker for me. For those of you who have higher level cards than I do, I think probably your best bet for a 1-deck kill is going to be deck 1. You're going to want to focus down the head and the legs more than the arms. In fact, I wouldn't even worry about getting the Fusion Bomb on them too much. Just get the Fusion Bomb. I mean, obviously you're going to want to take them down, but I think Swarm takes them down by themselves. All right, we'll try it. We might be able to do it. I might not have enough faith in Fusion Bomb. Maybe this will be a strengthening of my faith here. We do get the double buff for Rancid Gas with a support effect increase, but I'm not holding too much hope here. Make sure those stacks get on the legs and the head. There we go. Come on. There we go. We're just going to sit on this. Oh man, that's not good. Come on. Fusion Bomb, please. All right, yeah. That is great damage. That's fantastic damage. 3.21 mil is fantastic damage, but at the end, Fusion Bomb just dies so hard, so hard. So if you're confident in your Thriving Plague's ability to do that, I would give it a shot. I'd say probably your best bet for a 1-deck kill is deck 1, but not for me. I came close, just 89,000 away. I suppose if I'd been a little better with my transitions on Fusion Bomb, I might have been able to get one more detonation and probably got the win. But as it stands, I was not able to do that. So I will just go ahead and take it down with deck 4. And that'll be that portal for me. I probably won't even get a Haymaker burst off. I probably won't even get ramped up. Yeah, see, still 1 stack on Crushing Instinct for the takedown. No problem. All right, moving on to 37. We've got Sterile. Our info is +1 Affliction max stacks and minus 20% all arm damage. Okay, we're gonna look for a burst deck for this one. Deck 1, we've got Affliction, Fusion Bomb with Swarm. Deck 2, we've got, there it is. This is it right here. Ancestral Favor with Clinch, Barrage, and Flak is fantastic for Sterile. You've only got 4 parts to hit, and the Flak takes down the hand and the leg real good. Real good. Deck 3, we've got Limb and Armor Focus. Deck 4, we've got a Head Focus with Haymaker. 5 is Victory March with Grim. 6 is a True Armor Focus. 7 is Totem with Torso Focus. And 8 is our Whip Blazing Inferno deck. I'm going with deck 2, Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, and Flak. Taking those 2 hands down, or the 2 limb parts down, 1 hand, then 1 leg, then onto the head, and then from the head to the torso. Flak's going to finish that leg off nicely for me, and then I'll go back to the head and finish it off. At this point, Clanship Barrage is nice and ramped up, so we're doing fantastic damage, and the torso will drop nice and fast. There we go. 2.87 million damage for a 1-deck kill. All right, moving on to deck Portal 38. We've got a Juck. Our info is 25% increase to burst damage and minus 5% support effects. So our decks available, we've got Clanship Barrage, Ancestral Favor, and Flak. We've got Clanship Barrage, Ancestral Favor, and Moonbeam. That's a fantastic deck for this Titan. Deck 3, we've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Psychic Chains. Also not bad, but I like the Moonbeam better. Deck 4, we've got Purifying Blast with Body Focus. Deck 5, we've got Totem with Torso Focus. Deck 6, we've got Totem with Purifying Blast. 7 is a Limb Focus with Decaying Strike, and 8 is Whip with Blazing Inferno. This is, for me, this is a no-brainer. Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Moonbeam. That torso is so beefy. I mean, by the time you've taken down the head, your Clanship Barrage is going to be nice and ramped up. The torso will die instantly, and the legs will also die instantly. So we'll just go ahead and ramp up on the head. It goes down in about 12 seconds. Moving on to the torso, we've got our buff on Moonbeam. That'll die even quicker with the ramped up Clanship Barrage and Moonbeam, and we can move on to, whoa, okay, that was bad transition on my part. Move on to legs, and there we go. I think I could have transitioned a lot better and shaved a little bit of time off that, maybe a second or two. All right, that is 38 clear. Moving on to 39, we've got LoJack. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance and 15% decrease to burst damage. So that's burst chance is more important than burst damage in my opinion. So it's really just kind of a buff altogether for bursts. We've got Fusion Bomb with Swarm. We've got Radio with Swarm. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Flak. We've got a Limb Focus with Armor. We've got a Head Focus with Haymaker. We've got Armor Focus. We've got Head Focus with Ancestral Favor. And we've got Limb Focus with Decaying Strike. All right, I don't typically like to go with burst decks against Titans like LoJack and Tactar because of how many transitions you have. But with Flak, I feel like, in the burst chance increase, I feel like you have the much better chance with Deck 3 to take down this LoJack. So we're going to go with that. Take down all the armor off of the limbs, and then hopefully by the time the head and the torso armor is down, Flak will have taken those parts out. Yeah, I definitely think Flak is powerful enough to take these limb parts out. Get the head armor, and then the torso armor, and back to the head. Come on. Come on, burst chance. Come on, burst chance. Yes. One deck kill. 4.10 million damage. Not bad. Okay, that was 39 clear. We're moving on to Portal 40. Portal 40, we've got LoJack. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance and 5% decrease to support effects. Same, almost exactly the same issue as last time, but we do get the double debuff on Rancid Gas and Ancestral Favor. So our first deck is Fusion Bomb with Swarm. Second deck is Body Focus with Grim. Third deck is Swarm with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. 4, we've got Swarm with Decaying Strike and Rancid Gas. 5, we've got Victory March with Clanship Barrage and Razor Wind. 6, we've got Totem with Torso Focus. 7, we've got Limb Focus. And 8, we've got Whip with Blazing Inferno. All right, with the burst increase, we might... I think the one deck kill here is going to be either 3 or 1, depending on how confident you are with your fusion skills. So I'll give it another try. I think the damage on Blazing Inferno is more consistent, but if you're good with your transitions, you can get better damage with deck 1. I am not good with my transitions, but I will give it a shot. Obviously want to focus down the torso and the head primarily, because once all the other limb parts are down, you only have 2 parts or maybe even 4 parts with the legs. You might have a maximum of 4 parts to go around with Fusion Bomb. Yeah, man, I'm so bad with Fusion Bomb. When you're taking the Titan from 100% to 0, I am not good with Fusion Bomb. I will give it a try though. Now you know what, screw it. We're going with deck 3. Yeah, we're going with deck 3, and we'll finish off with deck 5. It's a 2-deck takedown for sure for me. Some of you with the Fusion Bomb skill, you might be able to 2-deck it with deck 1, but for me, I know for a fact it's going to be a 2-decker. I'm just going to go with the Blazing Inferno instead of the Fusion Bomb, and get those limb decks or those limb parts as low as possible. And with Victory March, we'll be able to just finish everything off. There we go. All right, we got everything but 3 parts. That'll be a nice, juicy boost for the Victory March deck. That was deck 5, yeah, deck 5, and we'll just start out on the leg. Start out on the leg and then move to the head. And Victory March's damage will be nice and high. With the burst chance increase, it just, I see it taking it down pretty fast. There we go. All right. Got it. Moving on to Portal 41. Portal 41, we've got a LoJack. Our info is a 40% increase to affliction chance and -1 affliction max stack. For our decks, we've got Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, and Flak. We've got the same deck with Moonbeam instead of Flak. Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clinch, Barrage, and Armor Focus. We've got Limb with Armor. We've got Victory March with Razor Wind and Clench Barrage. We've got Totem with Torso Focus. And we've got this is Thriving Plague, Blazing Inferno, and Rancid Gas. Okay, so we do have the affliction chance increase, but -1 affliction max stacks. I don't think that's a problem with cycle, because usually when you're doing your cycles, you're not getting the max stacks anyway. So we can completely ignore that debuff and say that deck 8 is going to be our best bet here. With the increased affliction chance, I think this gives us our best chance at a 1-hit kill. So we'll go ahead and switch off. Try not to kill the limb parts too fast. Oh my goodness, and they just started dying instantly. That's fine. Okay, well, this is going to be a 2-decker for me, I can already tell, so we'll just try and get as many of these limb parts dead as possible. Yeah, and finish up on the head and the torso. All right, 3.09 million damage with that deck, and we can switch over to yeah, I think this is going to be deck 2. Oh no, wait. No, we want deck 6. We've got Victory March with Clench It Barrage and Razor Wind. The Victory March buff is going to be huge with only 2 parts left. And we can take down that head nice and fast and finish off on the torso to get that extra buff after the head drops. There we go. Quick and easy. 6 seconds. All right, and moving on to Portal 42. We've got a Juck. Our info is 20% increase to all armor damage and -15% affliction damage. Our decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm. We've got Body Focus with Grim. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clench, Barrage, and Psychic Chain. And just the same thing with Fragmentize. And we've got Limb and Armor Focus. We've got Pure Armor Focus. We've got Totem with Torso Focus. And we've got Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. So with the armor damage increase, we break through armor fast, so we don't have to worry about the armor too much. So it makes Fragmentize pretty much pointless. I mean, it's not pointless. It still gets that, helps Clench It Barrage ramp up. But what was the buff again? Armor. Okay, affliction. Okay, so we want to try. Let's stay away from the affliction on this one. Let's go ahead and go with Clench It Barrage, Ancestral Favor, and Psychic Chain. That'll be fantastic to finish nice and quick. In fact, I would even say start with the head, get Clench It Barrage ramped up, and by the time you get to the legs, Clench It Barrage will be so ramped up that Psychic Chain will just blast them. Yeah, Psychic Chain and Clench It Barrage just blast them out of the water. And we've got our Clench It Barrage already ramped up so high that it's going to take down this torso nice and fast, even faster than the head. And now the leg's just going to insta-die. In fact, my transitions are so terrible. There we go. Okay, moving on to Portal 43. We've got a Tactar. Our info is 25% increase to all affliction damage and minus 20% all head damage. Okay, so afflictions will do good here. We've got Clinch Barrage, Ancestral Favor, and Flak. We've got Ancestral Favor with Torso Focus. We've got Armor with Limb Focus. We've got Head and Haymaker. Head Focus with Haymaker. We've got a True Armor Focus. Totem with Purifying Blast. Victory March with Haymaker. And Blazing Inferno with Whip. Alright, so Affliction damage is great for Tactar because Psycho Decks are preferable. Head damage is not a huge deal. The decrease to head damage, I mean, it's not a huge deal. We don't have any Psycho Decks. I mean, Whip with Blazing Inferno is a Psycho deck technically, but it's only for armor. So I don't think we can one deck this Titan. We're high enough now that the one decking is no longer, if you don't have a good deck, you're no longer going to one deck it. I suppose if you have high enough level, nah, I don't see anyone. I suppose if you have high enough level, you might be able to one deck it with 2 or maybe even 1. Yeah, 1's your best bet for the one deck. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it the one deck shot. Focus down the smaller parts first so Flak can finish them off. Get the armor off, I mean. And wow. Okay, so that did not die fast as I thought it would. Yeah, get the armor off of those little limbs. Hopefully Flak finishes them off. But I don't see it happening. We take down the armor on the head and then the armor on the torso. And then once that's gone, we'll just focus down as many limb parts as we can before the time runs out. Wow, that actually worked out pretty good. All right, so we did 3.21 million damage. We got everything but the head and the torso. Yeah, I think it's probably possible, but you're gonna have to have perfect transitions, and you're gonna have to have a bit more damage than I have. I mean, to the tune of about a million more damage than I have. So you're gonna have to get a 4.21 million right in that area, 4.4 million right in that area to take this down. So to finish this off, I think I'll probably just go ahead with Totem. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Yep. It's a toss up between the two of these. The tap damage is going to be insane with Victory March and Inspiring Force. Haymaker will take forever to burst, but I think you're finishing it off faster with deck 7. So we'll go deck 7. We'll start on the head. Maybe we kill it with tap damage. Nah, it's yeah. 1 Haymaker burst per part, and it's done. 8 seconds. Awesome. Okay, moving on to Portal 44. We've got Tarot. Our info is 25% increase to arm damage and 20% decrease to all limb damage. So that's that's a pretty worthless buff against the debuff. Our decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Armor Focus. We've got Body Focus with Grim. We've got Ancestral Favor, Clench, Barrage, and Flak. I think that's our winner. 4 is Armor with Limb. 5 is Armor with Limb. 6 is Head with Haymaker. 7 is All Armor. And 8 is Totem with Purifying Blast. Wow, okay. What was the buff again? Arm damage. Limb damage. Okay. I think we beat this Tarot the fastest with deck 3. It's definitely possible with deck 8, but I think it just is a little bit faster with deck 3. So I'm going to go with Ancestral Favor, Clench, Barrage, and Flak. We've got arm damage increase, which is it's not super smart to do this, but I'm gonna, instead of focusing the leg, torso, head, I'm gonna focus right side, arm, torso, head. We'll get the armor down on the arms, and hopefully Flak will take down the arms. It gives us 1 extra transition, but with that buff, I feel like I feel like it negates that leg buff that we were missing out on. Leg debuff that is inhibiting us, I mean. Does this finish him off? It does. Awesome. Just one little tippy tap and it's gone. I think with Clanship Barrage's ramp up, we might get this. Come on. Yes, we got it. Okay, great. Yes, so definitely go with your Clanship Barrage, Ancestral Favor Flak, and let Flak do the damage on those hands, and you should be good. 3,000 or 3.12 million. Onto 45, we've got LoJack. Our info is 20% increase to all raid damage and 1 all affliction max stacks. This is a great buff, especially for cycle decks because of the double buff on Rancid Gas, and we also. All right, we got it back up and running. So like I was saying, we can use deck 8 or deck 4. Personally, I'm going to say deck 8 is your better option. We'll go ahead and go with deck 8 and do as much cycling as we can on LoJack and get all those parts down as much as possible, and we can finish off with any one of those single part focus decks. Here we go. Just get those legs and hopefully get this armor down if we can. Yeah, we can. And now we can finish down the limbs. Yeah, there we go. All right. So that will get our single target decks ready. And for those, we have the deck 3, but I think deck 7 is going to be our best bet because basically we get about 1 activation of Haymaker on each part. So we'll go deck 7 and finish off the head first. I believe was lower than the torso. Tap damage once it gets ramped up. Yeah, there we go. 1-shot kill. And it should be the same thing with the torso. There we go. And now we can move on to Portal 46. We've got Tarot. Our info is 10% increase to all support effects and only 80% burst chance. Go ahead and look at our decks. We've got Fusion with Swarm. We've got Fusion with Swarm with Armor Focus. We've got Swarm with Blazing Inferno Rancid Gas. We've got Swarm with Decaying Strike and Rancid Gas. We've got Purifying Blast with Inspiring Force. We've got Totem with Torso Focus. We've got Ancestral Favor with Head Focus. And we've got Victory March with Haymaker. So because of our support effects, we want to look at our, what was that Clanship Barrage? Oh, there wasn't one. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a 2-deck takedown. We want to clear off all the armor with deck 3 or deck 4. Actually, you know what? Deck 1 probably better for clearing off the armor. Honestly, I think if you're looking for the 1-deck kill, you might want to go with deck 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with deck 3. I know for me this is going to be a 2-deck takedown, so I'm going to go with deck 3 and then finish off with deck 5. Definitely get all the armor down with deck 3. And we're going to go the cycle pattern on Tarot, which of course is to skip the head. And just make sure all the armor gets taken down. There you go. And there's nothing wrong with taking down those extra parts if we can. The only main concern here is to make sure we get the armor. Secondary is to finish off as many parts as possible, so we only have 1 or 2 parts left to take down with our Purifying Blast deck. There we go. 2.65 million damage is not too bad. And we can move on to our Purifying Blast with Acid Splash and Inspiring Force. And finish off the big part first, because we want those bursts to really count whenever they go off. And then, oh wow, okay, yeah, not bad. We didn't even need to finish off the 2 legs. We got them low enough that it was a 1-part kill. Okay, we can move on to 47. We got another tarot. 25% increase to all leg damage and 20% decrease to all limb damage. Okay, so let's look at our decks. We've got Grim with Swarm. We got Fusion Bomb with Swarm with Armor Focus. We've got Swarm with Blazing Inferno and Rancid Gas. We've got Limb and Armor Focus. We've got Head Focus with Haymaker. And we've got All Armor Focus. We've got Totem with Torso Focus. And we've got Ancestral Favor with Head Focus. I think probably our best bet for the win here on this one. What was the buff again? Leg damage, limb damage. I think probably our best bet for the win here is to the 1-deck takedown. Yeah, wow. Yeah, we want to stay off the arms, so we're not going to do fusion. I think we have a good chance of getting this win with, I want to say deck 1 with Grim. It's possible, but not probable. But it's definitely going to do better for focusing than these other decks, because Blazing Inferno depends on getting as many parts afflicted as possible to get more stacks. And deck 2, it's just not viable with only the armor focus. So yeah, we're going to go with deck 1, and I think we're going to focus down torso and head, and just depend on our last deck to finish off those little that leg. Come on, Grim, get your max stack on there. All right, wow, it looks like Swarm's gonna take down those parts. Oh, Swarm, you're just about as worthless as you can be. Nah, that's all right. We're doing all right damage here. We just do as much damage as we can. 3.37 million damage. Some of it is wasted damage because of all the armor we took down that we didn't need to. But at this point, we just need to finish off both the head and the torso, and any one of these limb pieces will finish it off. So we can just go ahead and go with doggone it, man. We really have some garbage decks on this one. We're going to go with deck 3 and just focus on the parts that don't have armor. There we go. There we go. Quick and easy. 10-second takedown on the second. There we go. And we can move back to portals. Portal 48. We've got LoJack, 25% affliction damage and -1 affliction max stack. All right, so that's great for LoJack. We've got, so for our decks, we've got Fusion Bomb and Swarm. We've got Fusion Bomb and Swarm with Armor Focus. We've got Limb and Armor Focus. We've got Head Focus with Haymaker. We've got Victory March with Grim Shadow. We've got Victory March with Clinch Barrage and Razorwind. We've got Totem with Purifying Blast, and we've got a nice Thriving Plague with Blazing Inferno. I'm going to go with deck 8, take down as many parts as I can, particularly the limbs especially, and then finish off with deck 7. All right, and same drill as before. We get our big stacks on the torso and the head, and then we just start working down the limbs. And those limbs should go down nice and fast, especially when you get that Thriving Plague buff on there. And don't neglect, I mean, I know we're going to take them down next deck, but you can still do as much damage to them as you possibly can. Oh, this leg got neglected somehow. I don't know how that happened, but it shouldn't be too hard to get it down. Oh yeah, we got the armor off the head too. Beautiful. 3.25 million damage. And we can move on to I think it's faster with deck 6. We're going to go with deck 6. Yep, we'll go with deck 6, finish off that head, It should go down a lot faster with Victory March and Razor Wind, and then we can just crunch right through that armor with the ramped up Victory March and Clanship Barrage. And that is a quick kill. All right, moving on to Portal 49. We've got another Takdar. Our info is 25% increase to burst chance and -5% to support effects. So our decks are Fusion Bomb with Swarm, we've got Grim with Swarm, we've got Fusion Bomb with Swarm and Armor Focus, we've got Clanship Barrage, Ancestral Favor Flak, we've got Head Focus with Haymaker, Ancestral Favor with Head Focus, we've got Victory March with Haymaker, and we've got a Limb Focus with Thriving Plague. And burst chance increase. Yeah, we might do good. This is going to be a 2-decker for me at this point too. I just know it is because I don't see myself taking this down with any one of these decks. But if you are trying to get a 1-deck takedown, I think probably your best bet is going to be on deck 4. Take down those limbs and finish off on the torso and the head. Hopefully Flak will take the limbs down the rest of the way after the armor disappears. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Flak is doing its job real nicely. Let's go. Actually, let's move to the. No, head's fine. Yeah, head's fine. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. And we'll just finish off doing as much damage as we can to the head. Oh, even got it. Nice. Almost 5 million damage on that. So yeah, I think that's definitely your best bet for a 1-deck takedown. I'm not sure how much I had left. 388,000 left. So yeah, it's definitely possible to 1-deck this Titan, especially if you have similar card levels or higher card levels than I do. All right, so we'll just finish off with Victory March with Haymaker. That'd probably be the fastest. 1 burst with a Haymaker, or maybe even the tap damage is enough to take it down once Inspiring Force gets ramped up. Yeah, no problem. Okay, that's 49 cleared, and we can move on to our last portal, Portal 50. And for 50, we've got Mohaka. Our info is 25% increase to all limb damage and -10% all raid damage. So this is a great buff for Mohaka because it's basically all limb damage, but this is a terrible debuff no matter what's going on. Our decks are Fuse with Armor and Swarm, Body Focus with Grim. We've got a Limb and Armor Focus. We've got Purifying Blast with Inspiring Force. We've got Limb and Armor Focus again. We've got Victory March with Grim. We've got Totem with Purifying Blast, and we've got another Limb Focus. All right, this is another 2-decker for me. Particularly, since it's the last portal, so it's the strongest one. And with that limb bonus damage, I feel like we take down the limbs and then just finish off the armor. So, or sorry, finish off the head on the last deck. So let's go ahead and use deck 8. I think we take down everything with deck 8 except for the head, and then we can just finish off the head with one of these other decks. Yeah. All right, so we'll go deck 8. Obviously do the hands or the arms and shoulders first because that's oh wow, this is way slower than I thought it would be. I thought with the arm buff, but because of the support debuff, it's what's doing the problem. Well, we can definitely get all the arms. I think. I think we get all the arms. Goodness gracious, dude, it's just so... 1.8 million damage is just awful. Just awful, but we didn't really have very many choices here. Well, I think we can finish it off with 7. We'll just take down the head first and then move to the legs. The leg transition is easier than yeah, for the last transition is a lot easier when you're crunched for time in those last seconds. So we just get this head down. Come on, purifying glass, just once, just for once, please be dependable. There we go. Got that stack there. That'll help later. Come on. Okay, well, we missed that one. 7 seconds. We've got it. Easy. 3 million damage. And that is it. We got it. Solar raids are all finished. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to go back up to your settings and turn your raid tree tribe back on so that you don't screw up on your raids. You want those reroll options. And there we go. It's another week of solar raids out of the way. Let me know if you have any opinions or any criticisms that you have. I'm always open to hearing them. And if you need any other further help in the comments, just leave a comment and I'll respond to you if I can. Thank you, and hope you have a good week.